instrumental and set up for a metal time of jazz and beyond.
With Nothemba Madumo on 702.
We are one people.
It is Jazz and Beyond on 702 and CapeTalk. It is Nothemba with you, welcoming you to second hour. As you gaze at the moon, just like Dr. Philemon Mahuma, who says he's listening at fireside, he's watching the moon, enjoying a drink, and he says he's loving this contemplative, beautiful music. Well, I'll tell you what, you're just hearing for the first time the music of Steve Dyer out of his brand new album called Multipolar. And of course, this first track, I think, is just appropriate. It's called Revolving Earth, as of course, the moon is revolving around the earth and it has turned red. And us moon gazers and moon lovers, we just love the idea. Hello, Steve.
Hi, Nothemba.
You saw the red moon. I haven't been outside since it's appeared. How does that look?
I know, living in this part of the world, the moon, it's there in all its beauty, and I live out of town, so it's not clouded by buildings and things. So
yes,
it looked very pristine and beautiful,
and
calming.
I think we're very lucky today because the skies opened. It was a bit cloudy yesterday, so it's a great thing that we can, gaze at this red moon. And of course, revolving Earth, it has a lot to do with the concepts that come with this album, because just judging from the vocals of the song, we are one everything. We are one earth, we are one planet, we are one history, we are one memory, we are one spirit, we are one destiny, we are one future, we are one life, we are one... What else is missing? There's
Wide-eyed child in pain.
Oh, man.
So that's the little sting in the tail.
I know. Is this inspired by your current view and thoughts about the state of our land, of our world? What's going on in Steve's mind right now?
Yes. Look, Multipolar, I titled this project this because, in the world now, there are different spheres of power that are coming up inevitably. So we are not dancing to somebody else's tune more and more. And this allows different cultures in the world to be more recognized than they have been in the past. And so multipolar is, yes, where there are different spheres of influence, and one of them has to be Africa, because for too long the culture in South Africa as well as Africa has just been marginalized and is not recognized for the beauty that it has. And so, multipolar is something where we recognize that the world is full of all these different cultures, and we need to acknowledge every one of them and all learn from each other.
Where are you seeing the African and the South African culture now being more prominent and rising? In what ways are you seeing it?
Well, I think if one looks at politics, or you look at BRICS, and you look at the kind of economic impact that's growing from BRICS, perhaps we haven't seen it yet, but in terms of economic terms, it's no longer a little South Africa without any voice in the world, because we are in this organization that has the most populous country in the world, which is India, and then the second one, which is China, and both of them are growing economies and growing powerhouses. So we are closer to the seats of what the world order is becoming.
Yeah. And I mean, there's been conversation online now about bringing awareness to the fact that even, the African continent on the map has always been portrayed as this small continent, when in actual fact it is much bigger in real life than a lot of the other continents that have, as you're saying, been the ones that have had prominence in terms of ideology and economics and everything else.
Yes, I think that we've been governed so much by Western influence, Western culture, Western music, Western fashion, and we've got to just look at go into a supermarket even now, and you'll see the music that's played. And sometimes I hate going to even buy groceries because we just haven't seen the economic benefit, the social benefit, the psychological benefit of looking within.
So with this new album, I mean, listen, last year you won the Summers for the best jazz album for Entlizweni. And you thought, no, I'm not going to rest on my laurels. I'm just going to continue and be better and bigger and come out with this album, which is beautiful. It's amazing. I mean, even just that first track. And but what is different? Musically and sonically, what has been your approach that's different from what you've been doing before?
I believe it's striking the balance between arrangement in music and stretching out in the improvisation. And so I think with this album we're stretching out a bit more. Entlizweni was like stories, chapters in a book. This one we stretch, and it just turned out that all the tracks are around 8 to 10 minutes long.
Which is a problem for me.
So it's stretching out and really coming to grips with different options for arranging. I've always been interested in not just arranging in the standard way of verse, chorus, or A, B, A. I've always been interested in that, as well as different textures.
But I like the fact that you also pay tribute on the album to different generations, which is still telling your story, but in a musical way. You've got the forefathers who you pay tribute to. You got the young ones. In fact, let's go to the young ones, and the fact that I'm assuming you are loving what the young ones are becoming, or are showing us. Are you happy with the future, with the young ones we have?
That's one of the things in the country, that I'm happy with, really, is how the young ones are taking the music forward. It's one of the success stories of the democratic order in South Africa. And, I'm blessed actually to spend quite a lot of time with the young energy and get their new ideas. And they seem to treat me with respect, which is all cool.
And that's what keeps us young, when you spend time with the young ones, right?
Exactly. Feed off some of their energy.
Absolutely. If you're just joining us now, Steve Dyer is in the studio sharing his brand new album called Multipolar with us. And, he's going to be performing at the Standard Bank Joy Jazz as well. And this is the song that he's paying tribute to the young ones, who we feed off for more energy. Jazz and Beyond, it is the music of Steve Dyer, right here on 702 and CapeTalk. And of course, we're hearing this album for the first time, this music, this creation. And of course, your comments are absolutely welcome. What do you think? I got my own ideas about this. 072-702-1702. If you're listening on Radio 702, and CapeTalk is 072-567-1567. The album is not out yet, by the way. That's why you and I are absolutely honored to be hearing this amazing music. And of course, that was a track called The Young Ones from the Multipolar album. It's not tripolar or quadrupolar or anything but multipolar, because there's a very important message that comes with it, and that we are so different cultures, right? We have different thoughts, ne? We have different languages, we have different lifestyles and everything, but there's one thing that connects us. What's that, Steve?
It's the commonality of the human, of the human being that we all are. If you look at the world, sometimes there's more genetic diversity in a group of chimpanzees than there is in the whole of the entire human race. So we come from a limited gene pool, and I think it's good that the more we have, we spread this gene pool rather than keep two circles, which can cause problems, health problems, and all that. So we are one human race, and so it's been a long belief of mine, a long-held belief that ideas like calling people racist is a misnomer, actually, in terms of in terms of the lexicon. We should call people either culturalists or tribalist, ethnicist, but racist means that we separate each other on a fundamental level. So when I'm talking to you, I consider myself an Anglo-African, and I consider yourself an indigenous African, but we are of the same body. And in terms of people, especially musicians and their philosophies, you look at John Coltrane and his messages in his music. You look at Bheki Mseleku, and that you always, I believe, when the most enlightenment comes, when you recognize the commonness of all.
That's true, hey? Because even, the themes that are on the album are also very motivational. In other words, trying to encourage positivity and a positive outlook, because there's more to celebrate than to for us to hate and to be negative about as well. And I think you're right in that a lot of people are looking for our differences rather than our commonalities. Yes,
and look, the world is in a serious place now. There's dangers of nuclear war where we can all be destroyed. There's just war all over the place. And I think humans if we put a priority on power, on control, then we will never have peace.
But they want that power,
Exactly.
They want that control,
So we need to be strategic.
They want those resources,
We need to be strategic about the resources and the usage of power and control in a positive manner, you see. Because yes, you need structure, you need power, but it needs to be done in a way that does not exclude. And anyway, I'm a musician. I'm allowed to be an idealist and a prospective force for good. That's what's important to me.
But the thing is, you're undermining your importance in the sense that at the end of the day, we listen to the messages and the stories that the musicians tell us, because those are the stories that are not news bites. These are the stories that live for a long time. I can play this music again in 10 years' time, and the message will still be there.
Yes.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
There's something else that's we've lost a lot of musicians, and in this year, and we're just almost in ninth month now. And you also lost a musician that you actually recorded on this album with, Helen.
No, Helene.
Helene.
Helene was, she was working in a management capacity for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you did this special song that's a tribute to her.
Yes, She beautiful soul, and she just left us quite suddenly. Because she was working with Marty Khan, who's also helping me with management, US based.
Okay.
And so we lost her, and I made this tribute.
And this is the track for Helene. And I like that, you pay tribute and recognize and acknowledge people outside of just the musicians who played important parts in your life.
Well, look, as Herbie Hancock says, before we are musicians, we are human.
True.
And so we can't just pretend that we live in a music bubble without looking at other influences from humanity in other various sources.
Lovely. This is Helene, the music of Steve Dyer on Jazz and Beyond, where you come for the jazz and stay for a good time. It is Jazz and Beyond on 702 and CapeTalk. Steve Dyer with Helene, a track dedicated to a special person in his life who passed on. Multipolar is the name of the album. And we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we wrap it up with the musicians, amazing musicians that have been part of this. And of course, what we can expect at the Standard Bank Joya Jazz, because he's going to be there performing. Mr. Saxophonist, Mr. Flautist, Mr. Guitarist, Mr. Singer, keyboardist, everything he does. He does it all. Multi-instrumentalist Steve Dyer.
Swooning for some jazz.
Let Nothemba Madumo serve you up some jazz and beyond.
On 702 and CapeTalk.
Jazz and beyond, in fact, beyond our earth and up into the skies where the moon is red. I'll tell you what, Dr. Mahuma says, Steve spent time in Botswana, Zimbabwe, and understands diverse people and their cultures. He says, I have great respect for you, Steve. Congratulations on the album. It's great and will serve many generations to come. And he says he's a Motswana himself and he speaks Italian. So having lived and further studied in Florence. So he says he can relate to being Anglo-African like you. And then Lucky says, hey, Nothemba, thank you for the music and the interview with the great musician Steve Dyer. I've been listening to his music since his first album. I wish to know where I can get this latest album. Lucky Moshirga. It's not out yet, so you just have to listen to Jazz and Beyond. So when is it coming out, Velis?
It's coming out end of October.
Okay.
There's going to be some pre-release, I think, towards the end of this month, around the 25th of September, which means you can go on to Bandcamp and you can download music and not just stream it. And we'll get something more.
Or else you come to the Standard Bank Jazz and see you perform.
That's also there. But,
what are your days of performing there?
On the Sunday, 28th.
On the Sunday, 28th.
Yes.
So are we listening to Entlizweni or this new stuff?
I'm putting on a show, Visions of Ubuntu. And so I'll be with a big choir, a Mazwi 8 choir, and then about 10 other musicians. We'll have something of the new album, we'll have something of Entlizweni, and we'll have something totally different.
And totally different.
Yeah.
Okay. And talking about choirs and musicians, the brilliant musicians on this album, you've got, I see, Spelelo is a constant because they're interchanging with the various musicians, but the constant ones on the album are Spelelo on the drums and Shane Cooper on the upright bass, Tebucho Kobedi on piano, and you got Michael Nkuna on trumpet. You also have Kwanele Kakata on keyboards. And then, of course, voices. We sit there. You got your children. you abusing your children. Busi's on, and Nandi Zulu also on vocals as well. I see a difference in Multipolar and Ancestral Home. El Haj Ngarindong on percussions. And Tembing Kosima Vimbela on bass as well.
Yeah, I think I spend quite a lot of time, because each musician has their own voice.
Sure.
And so I look at each composition and I think, okay, who do I hear now? And when I hear them, then I start composing towards what they do.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's wonderful because, one mind I can have the structure and the ideas and everything, but then the musicians will always come with their love and their input into the music. And that's what makes it grow and what makes it beautiful.
And that's what jazz is all about. Absolutely. Listen, this is a beautiful project, as always, and we look forward to seeing it performed live, not to mention, of course, having a copy of it. And we are saying congratulations and all the best with this album. And I love the messages and the stories, and they are ones that really should be in our minds, especially when we look around us and with our experiences of the world today. This is the kind of music we need to gaze at the moon, have a drink on the side, and contemplate the future of the world.
Thanks so much for hosting me, Nothemba. It's really been great. And I appreciate that you hear some of the message because, often for musicians, we don't know why we do what we do. But when there can be a connection and a listener can come and say things and then you recognize and realize that it's all worthwhile.
It always is.
All blessings.
And of course, it all brings us to our ancestral home. What is our ancestral home? Is it the music? Where is our ancestral home? Because this is the title of the song I'm playing you out with.
Yes. Ancestral home for me, it can be geographical and it can also be spiritual or physical.
Yeah.
So, if you look at a lot of the world today, the ties that we have, for example, whatever problems we have in our lives, there's still something that binds us to our country, whatever the problems are. And that's the ancestral home, is the place where you feel complete and you feel that you don't have to fight life, but you can live life.
And you don't have to do it alone.
You don't have to?
Do it alone.
Yes. That's the whole thing about living in Africa and why I recognize that I'm blessed to have been born here. It's because I've been taught so much about collective living. And I recognize something, in being an Anglo-African, I recognize some things from that other Western culture that are lacking, So when I go, I want huge choirs singing while my body's going down, you see, into the earth, because, it's a collective spirit that often when people come here, they recognize it as unique, and it is. It's something that is welcoming in a very fundamental human sense.
Stronger together. That is Steve Dyer on Jazz and Beyond. Look out for the album. It's coming out in October. Multipolar. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you so much.
And this is Ancestral Home from the album.